Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi if you're new, and happy Vlogmas day 2. For you, it is December 2nd when you're watching this. For me, it is December 1st, and I can't believe November is already over really fast. At least that's how it felt to me. It like went by really fast, and now it's December. Only one more month left of 2019. That is crazy. The 29th and the 30th I worked both days, but I worked both night shifts. I worked on Black Friday I worked from 1 to 8, and then yesterday I worked 12 to 8. So I mean, both days back to back like that, it was kind of a lot. So I'm very tired today. I'll talk about my experience with Black Friday. So if you want to hear about my experience, then just keep on watching. I did not do any like Black Friday shopping just because I really didn't have the money to just go spending crazy. And also, since I was going to be working that night, I really didn't feel like being in the crowds that much. I actually slept in a little bit. It is 10 a.m. right now, and normally I was awake at like 8:30, but like I didn't get out of bed till like a couple minutes ago, so that's the kind of day I'm having today, which is fine. Anyways, so I turned around because the window's right in here in front of me, so I get better lighting. Anyways, so I'll go ahead and talk about my experience. Enough with the rambling. I'll just get into it because I feel like that you guys would like to hear that. So on the 29th, which was Black Friday, this was my first experience ever with Black Friday. I was very nervous going into it, and also where I'm working, I am a seasonal position, so before the 29th, I only worked one day, and then before that was a training day. So you can kind of guess how I was feeling. And because the day that I worked, after the day I worked for real, it was really busy that day. So I was like, if it's busy right now, think about Black Friday. Like, that's going to be so nerve-wracking. Like, there's gonna be so many people and all that. And honestly, when I first got there was already so many people before I even clocked in. My shift was from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. so 1 to close. Because the store that I was at, they opened at like 6 a.m. but then they were open till 10 p.m. So they were open pretty much all day. And I got there at 1. I was thinking that maybe the crowd would die down before 1. Maybe all of them did their shopping, either the night before or in the morning. Not the case. I walked in and it was so hard to get back to get to the back so I could clock in. I was almost late clocking in, but not because I was late to the building, but because there were just so many people I could not get through. But it's okay because the place I work at was very they're very organized, and they always have people on hand, so we never really had any holes. Like, they have like not only the regular registers, but they have like mobile kinds, and where you can just kind of, and they also have like the phone kinds too, so there's many people who could be checked out at once. So even though the lines were really long and it was crazy and there was just a bunch of people, we kept it very organized. And if we were low on items, they always had the understock, or we always had stuff in the back if we needed to replenish. And I mean, anyway, so yeah, walking in was kind of chaotic. I was like, oh no, I can't even get to the clock. I can't even get to the back. Like, how's the day gonna go? So I, clocked in, and very quickly before we went on the floor, we had to watch a video just to understand the experience and what they kind of expect of us when working on Black Friday, because I mean, this was my first time doing Black Friday and first time doing Black Friday even just in that store. So every store is different in what they really work for. So the one thing was that they wanted us to be very, fast with things. I mean, be efficient, but keep up with a good pace so we can get the line down and stuff. We can't get people out of the store, and it was very organized. We really didn't have that many issues. Like, our computers were never really had any downtime. Like, they all worked pretty much all day long. There were no crashes. So that was good. So I mean, overall, with those staff, it was amazing. It was great. It was so great. It actually ended up being not that bad, even though I was overwhelmed by the amount of people at first. When I finally got on a register, it kind of just flowed. I actually kind of didn't mind having that amount of people around because it made the time go by faster. And that, because I mean, I was there from 1 to close, so I mean, quite a bit of hours, so at least made it seem like it wasn't that, even though it was long, it wasn't that long, because I was constantly checking out people, and I was not only on cashier, but I also got to work on the floor too, so I got to change, and not only that, I got a 30-minute break and stuff, and that was nice to just walk out of the store and go get something to eat and just chill for a sec, and it helps that the managers that I work with and the people I work with are really, really good and nice, and they make me feel really good. Like, whenever you need something, they don't shame you for it. They're like, okay, what can I help you with? And they're really good about it, and they'll explain things to you, but they're not afraid to tell you good job, and they'll always be right behind you, because like there are a couple times where the customers will be like, no, this is how it's supposed to, like, they try to they try to get you to do their certain percentages. They'll be like, oh, this person at the door said that I could get blah blah blah, and the manager's really good to be right behind us, being like, whatever we said, they go, no, she's right, that is how it goes. Like, they're really good about just being there for you, and they're always constantly like, are you okay? Do you need how you doing? Like, they're always good about that. And so it ended up being not that bad, even though I was really, really nervous and really, really scared. It ended up being not that bad, actually. The day after ended up being worse than Black Friday, actually, because we had some sales going on that were really good, and so there were more people the day after than Black Friday, which I don't know, which was crazy to me. This is actually a side note from Black Friday. I ended up working the next day while I was working my shift on Black Friday. They, I guess, had a call off or something the next day, and they asked me if I wanted to come in. I was like, might as well get the hours, might as well get the money, So I said yes, but of course I said that at the beginning of my shift, because even though it was not that bad on Black Friday, by the end of the night I was hurting. My legs were hurting from standing up so long and walking around, and even though I wasn't doing it, it was very tiring, and it put a lot of strain on me. It was very tiring. Like, when I got home, I went to bed because I was done at 10, which that's when they closed. So I was lucky enough that I didn't have to be a part of the cleanup process, because I've done that before, and it's kind of long. You have to wait for the managers to count up all the money and make sure everything looks great. And because after Black Friday, a lot of things were out, so we had to, you know, replenish all the understock and all the shelves, and just make sure that everything was good before leaving, you know. So I couldn't imagine what people were having to clean up on Black Friday. But luckily I didn't really have any like confrontations with any customers. I'm the kind of employee that's like, I'm gonna just be as nice as possible. I'm going to try my best to, you know, make them happy. But I mean, if I don't, like, I'm just gonna make sure I'm nice, because then they have nothing to get mad about, you know. So I try my best to be very like, let me see what I can do for you, you know. And if I can't, I gotta be straightforward and be like, I can't do that. And then I'll ask somebody else just in case. I'll be like make sure they can back me up, you know. So long story short, everything went really well actually, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And also, like, I mean, I think it depends on where you work too, because I heard one girl who was working, one of my coworkers said that she was working at another store. It was where I work in a mall, and she said one of the other stores that she works at the mall, it was so crazy. Like, she was there from like the midnight to morning or something, or she does like the 6 p.m. to midnight shift, and then she did a shift with us, and then she was gonna go back to the store for the last remaining shift of the night. Which, I mean, she's making money, but like, she said that people were crazy. People get a little crazy on Black Friday, honestly. So, but I had an okay experience. I think it really comes down to also like the people you work with, because if you really like working with those people, like, then it makes it long and hard. But everyone's very nice where I work, and just they're very, very helpful. If you have questions, they're not afraid to answer them for you. They don't just like, no, shove you off and stuff like that. But like, the next day was a lot crazier, because even though on Black Friday none of our computers like crashed or anything, yesterday when I worked last night, right before, like, it was like a couple minutes before I was about to clock off, because I got off at 8 yesterday, our computer system decided to basically crash. Like, it was timing out on everyone paying, so we had to suspend everyone's transactions and send them to one of the mobile ones to finish the job, because our regular registers were not working. And it was crazy, and I was so glad that I got off at the time I did, because I didn't have to end up dealing with it. Which, it sounds bad, but it sounded crazy. But so anyway, that was my experience with Black Friday and the day after a little bit. But it ended up not being that bad, even though I was really scared. I think I just worked myself up more than I should have, and it ended up being okay. I think when you go into something more with a positive outlook, it's gonna turn out okay. The more you stress about it, I feel like the worse it gets. So just take a deep breath and just do it, you know, and everything will be okay. And it ended up being okay. I am alive, I'm good, and I could do it again, at least at the store I'm working at. But so I hope you enjoyed hearing my experience of Black Friday, and I know I didn't do any shopping, but I will be doing some Christmas shopping during this holiday season, so I'm sure I'll have some hauls to do every now and then. I can't promise that it's going to be a bunch of hauls, but every now and then I might. And thank you so much for watching, and give this video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new, and hit the bell so you're notified when I upload. And thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. bye.